Hot Wheels Unleashed is a fun and graphically impressive racing game about, well, Hot Wheels. And while I had a lot of fun in my 10.5 hours of playtime, this title is definitely not without its flaws. To start off today's review, two of the biggest attractions I had to this game is, well, you race as Hot Wheels, with over 100 different vehicles to choose from, and the fact that, as a Hot Wheels game, the devs were able to make a super unrealistic game that was a ton of fun. It's basically you playing with your Hot Wheels as a kid come to life. The tracks and locations all look absolutely amazing and have a lot of detail to them. And I honestly sometimes just like going to the custom track building and driving around the open spaces as they were just cool. Be it a track at a skate park, a school, they all looked amazing, and it appears the devs have a lot of passion for Hot Wheels. I would like to be 100% upfront and honest. I admittedly suck at this game and played most of the races on the easiest difficulty as I bought this title seeking a chill and relaxing experience. The races were, well, races. What do you want me to say? Normally, I don't really care for racing games, but it was really the sheer amount of detail to this game that sold me. And I must say, I generally enjoyed all the races I played, although a couple were somewhat frustrating on the first attempt. But then we have the time trials. Oh boy, these really tainted my experience. Remember how I said I put 10.5 hours into this game? Maybe half to a whole hour of that was in the track builder, 3 to 4 hours was actually racing, and the last 5+ hours was spent on time trials, which I very rarely enjoyed. To put this in simple terms, I bought Hot Wheels Unleashed seeking a racing game, but the majority of my playtime came from not racing. This is not okay. If I buy a racing game, I want the majority of my playtime to be spent racing. What exactly is a time trial, by the way? Well, it's a closed course in which you have to get from start to finish in a short amount of time. The idea is pretty simple, but I often found the goals to be near unbeatable, and on countless occasions I would miss time trial goals by less than half a second, literally, and have to try again, and again, and again. I am not exaggerating when I say it took me over 20 attempts to beat some of the time trials, while a couple I simply could not beat. So my gameplay went something along the lines of 6 to 10 minutes of races, half an hour of time trial, repeat. I should mention there are boss races in the game, and you beat the game by beating all the boss races, which all held hefty rewards. While every type of event held a payday for their completion, boss levels were always the best, usually containing coins, gears, blind boxes, and various items for the custom track builder. You use coins to either outright purchase new vehicles, or for 500 coins, you can buy a blind box, which will give you a random car, which you can either keep, sell, or scrap. If you choose to scrap a car, you will receive gears needed to upgrade your rides. And this is where one of my biggest beefs with Hot Wheels Unleashed comes into play: the upgrade system. My problem here is this game contains over 100 drivable Hot Wheels, but only a dozen or so of them can reasonably be used, because cars can only be upgraded to a certain extent. You can't just max out all of the stats on one car, they all have unique caps, and because of this, the game really forced you to keep using the same best cars, with the highest caps, as again, you couldn't just max out any car. I mean, sure, you could use any vehicle for any event, but why would you choose a car that simply cannot be as good as another car? Hence, you're forced to use the same handful of cars over and over again. or deal with the consequences of an inferior automobile. It's like, what's the point of having over 100 Hot Wheels if maybe only 12 of them are actually viable options? This kinda grinded my gears, pun intended. Talking about multiplayer, while I cannot personally vouch for consoles, the Steam lobbies are empty. So I wouldn't buy this game on PC in 2024 if you're just looking for a multiplayer game, although a friend told me the Xbox servers are still active. Accessibility wise, if you don't mind Hot Wheels Unleashed looking like a PS1 release, you can turn the graphics way down if you're considering getting this game for a weaker non gaming computer. Although, from what I read on Steam reviews, despite being Steam Deck verified, this game does not actually run on Steam Deck. Not something I can personally verify, but something I felt I should mention for anyone wondering. The last things I want to discuss is the basement and the custom track builder. The basement is a really cool interactive feature that lets you fully customize the basement courses with the wallpapers, trophies, furniture, etc. of your choice. Some items come preloaded, some are DLC, and some you unlock by playing the story mode, but I really liked this personal touch the devs allowed the player to have. Finally, the custom track builder. I honestly found it a little frustrating and confusing as it was surprisingly hard to actually close off a track. That or I was doing something wrong. And maybe I just missed something really obvious, but other than a test run, I did not see any option to actually race your custom courses. Again, maybe I just overlooked something really obvious, but I just didn't see an option for this. So it's kind of like, what's the point of having a custom track builder if you can't race your own track? Overall, despite its flaws and my complaints, I give this game a 8 out of 10 by my grade scale. I think I paid 25 bucks for the Game of the Year edition on sale, and I'd honestly suggest just buying the base game first before spending the extra dough on DLCs, just to be sure you like it. But that's my review for today, y'all. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And for anyone new here, I mostly play, review, and discuss zombie and horror games, with sometimes other topics like today. So feel free to check out some of my other content if that sounds interesting. Always remember that God loves you all very much. Peace.